What's up, homies? Appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. Today I want to talk about THCA and what I think I know about it and what I do know about it. And hopefully you guys chime in the comments with what you guys know and what you don't know. It is an open conversation, an ongoing conversation, a little bit of gray area here and there with the topic. But what we all know is that THCA is the precursor to THC, right? We all know that. We all know that THCA has always been in the plant. You just have to light it on fire, which converts the THCA over to THC, which is what gets you elevated. And so we all know that. I think the next question that arises is, if that's true, if it's all cannabis, then why is there like two versions of it? Why is there one version where you can only get it at legal dispensaries, like California, Oregon, Colorado, Amsterdam? There's that version of cannabis, and then there's this other version that you can order online and have it shipped across state lines. You can buy it at your local head shop in states where cannabis is illegal. So if cannabis is the same thing on both sides, what's the difference? And to my knowledge, the difference is with THCA, it's how you grow it. They're taking the same cannabis plant from seed to flower and just growing it differently. They're taking the temps in the grow room and they're growing that version of cannabis at a cooler temp, and they're also doing things a little bit earlier. They harvest the plant a little early, I think it's around 2 weeks, and they flush it a little bit earlier. They do everything early. They do everything earlier with the plant so that towards the end of the cannabis of its life, it starts to mature around the last 2 weeks, and so that's when the THCA starts to naturally kind of convert over to THC. And it's never a lot. It's like 1, 2, maybe 3%. But with the Farm Bill, they don't want it to go over 0.3%. So what these elite green thumbs is what I like to call them, these wonderful people that are just figuring out different ways to grow this plant. And so they figured out, well, if they want that THC, which isn't high in the plant naturally to begin with, it's the THCA that's always been high. But the THC has always been low, but the Farm Bill wants it even lower. And so these growers have come out and said, okay, well, we're going to grow it at cooler temps and we're going to do everything earlier. We're going to harvest it earlier so that it doesn't have the time to fully mature and get that THC percent too high. And that's what I think they're doing. That's the difference. That is the difference. So if you're thinking that, okay, well, so if I live in a legal state, I should just keep getting the legal cannabis. It's going to be more robust, it's going to have more flavor, and it's going to be more potent. Well, yes and no. There's always going to be hit and miss with both sides of it. But with the THCA, you've got some growers, some of these elite thumbs that are really passionate about it, and they're really dialing it in. They're really finding the perfect cooler temp to keep it at. They're really boosting that cannabis with nutrients at the right time, and they're finding they're harvesting early, but they're finding the right time to harvest. You know what I'm saying? So there's some growers out there that are really knocking it out of the park, and it's all cannabis. And so the THCA, the Farm Bill compliant version of cannabis, can be, and usually is, if you get it from the right people, just as strong, just as potent, and just as aromatic as legal dispensary cannabis. I've had both, and I can say I've ordered cannabis online, THCA version, and had it delivered to my house, and it's been far superior than some of the stuff I've gotten from legal dispensaries. It really depends on where you get it from, and that's one of the reasons why I started reviewing cannabis, because you got to get the word out, because people will take advantage of you and they will grow like some bunk stuff. Like there are people that are seeing this as an opportunity in the market to make a lot of money, and then there's other people who are seeing it as an opportunity to really engage with the plant, with the flower, and figure out ways to really get the nutrients into that plant to get those cannabinoids up and those terpenes up and that THCA percentage up. Because the Farm Bill doesn't give a damn about the THCA. All they care about is the THC. So whoever wrote that bill has no clue about the plant. They have no clue what's going on, and that's fine. But it's not stopping anything. They're always trying to slow down this plant. It's been called so many names, and in today's time, we're calling it THCA. It's still cannabis. It's just grown a little differently, and you've got to find the right growers to get that full cannabis effect that you're probably used to. And if you're going out buying this THCA stuff from a gas station, or if you're buying it, from a local head shop, you're really running the risk of getting some bunk muted stuff. And you're going to be like, well, this THCA stuff is crap. I'm going to go back to my dealer. Well, that's fine. You can. But your dealer may be buying THCA from somebody who's really good online and then selling it to you at a higher price, when you yourself could just find it online, or come join the community online. We all are out here expressing ourselves about this cannabis. I mean, it's a great time to be alive if you're a user. It really is. You can shop online. You can look at all these menus, read these poetic descriptions of all these different strains, find the medicinal properties that you want for yourself. Right now you don't need a doctor's note. You don't need a dealer. You take care of yourself. You go online, you take care of yourself. And if you're nervous, just reach out. You can comment on this video if you're watching it right now. I go out of my way to try and find the good stuff. I really want to support the growers that are passionate about what they do, and I try to stay away from big corporate guys that are just pumping it out, and you'll buy stuff from them and it may or may not be good, and if it's good, it's really still not that good. That's just because these people just aren't really caring about the plant. They just aren't. So it really comes down to who can take care of this plant the best, because it's all just cannabis. It's not like you can take a seed off of a THCA plant, and grow it, and it's going to grow a THCA cannabis plant. That's not how it works. It's all cannabis. It's all the same thing. It just depends on how you grow it. And so with these new Farm Bill guidelines, you've got some of these super smart people out there with this cannabis plant, and they're just knocking it out of the park and finding ways to keep the naturally occurring low percentage of THC even lower, but while still boosting everything else up, because it doesn't matter about the actual THC percent that's in the plant. What really matters is the THCA percentage that's in the plant, because that converts over to the THC when you light it on fire anyways. So that's what I feel. That's what I know. And I'm also thinking that some of these growers when they harvest early and they send their product in to like a third-party lab to get their COAs, some of them might still continue to grow that plant afterwards. Maybe. Also, even when they do harvest their full crop and they put it in their bags or whatever, I kind of feel like that it's still going to convert over to a little bit more THC than what it was when they got it tested. Think like green versus yellow bananas. Things are gonna change a little bit over time, even after they go and get that thing tested at some third-party lab. That's kind of how I feel about it. That's kind of what I think about it. Let me know if I'm wrong in the comments. Any growers out there, let me know. I have grown before, back in 06, 07, but I have not done the Farm Bill compliant growing. I have mad respect for all growers out there. That stuff is so hard to do. I was doing Cinderella 99 and Cincy Star back in the day. Super hard to grow. So mad respect for all growers, especially the people that have figured out how to get around this loophole. So I appreciate you guys. Much love to all of y'all putting in that hard work and effort to do this. I just want to be somebody that can spread the word. So if you guys have any questions, if you have any answers, let me know in the comments. As always, I really appreciate you guys watching. And if you like what you see, and if you want to learn more, and if you want to find the good stuff, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching.